This video is particularly for people who work with supported education students or maybe are working in early years. So it's really looking at how you can use the smartboard for a way to be fun and interactive, and it may also help perhaps if some people have disabilities. So we're looking at Smart Notebook 16.2, which is one of the latest versions of the software. Now when you load up the software, it takes a little while to get going on your computer, and this is what you'll see. So on the left hand side here you have all your pages, a bit like PowerPoint with the slides, and in the middle part you have the area that you're working on. So you can click the plus to get yourself a new page, and if you were working with students and showing them this, you would probably go up to view and full screen. So it would mean it would look a little bit more like a PowerPoint, and then if you bring this little box up you can go forwards and backwards through the slides, or you can exit out of the full screen. So once you're in kind of this area, I wanted to show you a couple of things that might be quite useful. This here is a handwriting backdrop that you can use, which I thought would be quite useful if students want to work on their handwriting. Over here you have gallery essentials, you also have different lesson activity toolkits and different lesson activity examples. So in each section there are pictures, there are notebook files, there are interactive files. So I've just typed paper in here, and this is what I've come up with, and here are some backgrounds and themes. So there are a whole range of different ones. So looking at this, if I wanted some large lined paper, I would just click on one of my blank pages, come back here, and then if I want to use one of these, I just drag it over onto the screen, and here I've got typical lined paper. And if the page size isn't all that big and I think students are going to want to write a lot, I'll just click extend page and it'll make it a little bit longer. There will come a limit to how far you can extend the page depending on how much you're trying to save into the file, but if you reach that limit you can just have a new page. So I think that this is a really useful feature, to have, and it means that you can get students up and writing on the board. The other feature that's quite handy is to be able to put a picture in. So this is actually a picture of squared paper, and because it's a picture I can lift it, move it about, and I can also come down to the bottom right hand side and resize it. So you can't do that with a background, but you can do that with a picture. So I can lift up all of my squares, put them here. If I want to edit them a bit more, there's also this little arrow here I can click on, and then you've got clone, cut, copy, paste. Looking at the preset features that might be kind of useful perhaps for supported education or early years, some of these handwriting features might be really good. You could really extend up the size of the letters, and you can use much more ornate script that students might want to practice. You can also use some of the features around numbers and counting. So counting different items or writing numbers, or even using the online calculator on the screen. Smart also has these really handy features around time telling, so students would be able to mark on the hour hands and the minute hands, or even the clock face, or even the digital face. There's also this feature where you can put up the current time as a clock face, which again could be really useful for some groups, especially some who kind of want to know the time. Some people need things in a bigger size. Another really good feature is this timer over here. So you just set up the timer and then it does a countdown. If you want to kind of change how much it's counting down from, then you can just reset that. So again, a really handy feature perhaps for timed activities. Working with money and currencies, you can put up images of banknotes and coins, so again might be quite useful for some groups. I think where Smart excels the most is being able to play games for fun. So here I've got a couple of domino pieces which the students can kind of turn around. I've also got a dice which the student can click on the board and roll the dice, which might be useful if somebody can't physically roll a dice. This dice can also be picked up and it can be resized, so also very important perhaps if you had students who had issues around their eyesight and wouldn't be able to see a small dice. This here is a spinner, so again similar idea, somebody would be able to spin, and if you knew kind of drafts or checks or any kind of game like that, then this could be a really good game for students to play. The whole set of cards and playing cards are in Smart, and you could also create perhaps little covers for them and do a kind of a game of, patience, as I'm showing you here, but I'm sure there'd be lots of things that you could do. There's also dot to dot paper, so just the kind of old school kind of wet play game that we used to play. So you could have two students with the two different colours of pen working their way along to see how many squares they could get in a time scale, and there's even really big dot to dot paper as well, so it can include a lot of different students. I really like the way there is this 3D chess game, so if you had two students that wanted to play chess against each other, this could be an ideal opportunity and everybody could watch. Smart also has board games which are on plan, such as this one.